two men that are serving life sentences in a jail in Britain are getting married. But the part of the story that's most interesting is they're both serving time behind bars because of some homophobic actions. So it's Mikhail Gallatinov and also Marc Goodwin. Apparently, Goodwin was jailed 10 years ago for a homophobic killing in Blackpool seafront that was described by police as savage, senseless, homophobic attack that resulted in the death of a harmless man. Now, Gallatinov is a convicted pedophile who was sentenced back in 1997 for murdering a man he had met through a gay chat line. They're getting married, and they're able to do so under Britain's updated version of their marriage equality law. Okay.
So you could get married in prison in Britain already, but now that gay marriage is allowed, you can do gay marriage in prison. They're the first ones to do it, and as you can tell already, super ironically, they have both killed gay people. That's why they're in prison, and they're the first gay couple to get married.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you hear about people in prison getting married. And it's also something that kind of reinforces what we talk about a lot when it comes to homophobes. Usually the most outspoken homophobes are the ones that have something to hide. They're overcompensating for something. And in this case, it's definitely true. They got married to each other while they're in prison.
So this is just the most extreme example of it. Mm-hmm. So, we have somewhere mid-level hypocrisy with the Ted Haggers of the world who say, oh, gay people are bad, don't be gay. And then they go have sex with male escorts and snort cocaine off their ass, literally, right? And then there are lower levels of hypocrisy, but this is the very top of the pyramid in hypocrisy. But it goes to show, because their anger and what they did to those poor folks is because they had these pent-up feelings. And so especially Goodwin, in his clearly homophobic attack, so, oh, you're gay, I hate you, and he kills the guy. And then realizes later, it was me I hated, not you, because I'm gay, and I couldn't live with that, and I couldn't figure out how to live with it. And ironically, as he's serving time in prison, he's like, all right, I figured it out. I'm gay, I love this guy, and now I want to marry.
It's amazing. And it's amazing how people can have relationships while they're behind bars. Now, we all know that there's rape within the prison system, especially in the United States. People do develop relationships within prison, but a lot of people just do it out in the open and there doesn't seem to be any type of consequence for it. So one source told The Guardian the following: these two guys were on separate wings at Full Sutton and used to meet and have sex in the prison library. That's amazing. Then they managed to get on the same wing and had sex regularly.
So it reminds me of Oz, that great show on HBO. And I think, no, people aren't having sex in the library in prison. That's crazy. They're not falling in love and somehow maneuvering to get into the same wing. They totally are. What a crazy world prison is.
I know.
Where, you go in to get, read some Wuthering Heights. Next thing you know, this guy is pounding the other guy. And they're like, oh, those are the two guys that are in here for killing gay people.
And also, what's the etiquette when you're in prison? So they're married. Does that mean that they don't cheat on one another? Does that mean that it's a big no-no if another inmate tries to seduce one of them? I want to know the ethics, the etiquette, the rules. It's very important.
So that's the interesting part, right? Because I bet you there is an etiquette. I bet they get deeply offended if you violate that etiquette.
Yes. These
are the most vicious killers in Britain. They didn't find it offensive when they murdered the poor gay guys that they met up with, out of the blue or out of their own hatred. That didn't violate the etiquette. But wait, did you hook up with Steve in the kitchen or in the library with Professor Plum? Okay, well, that violates my etiquette.
Right.